The following program may contain strong language and mature content. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, because you can be watching this at any time of the day. Is your fave duo back at it again?
Yes.
How you feeling, co-host?
I'm feeling good. I mean, for those of you who don't know or tuning in for the first or second time, welcome. I'm Dwayne Savie, your favorite prevention training specialist here at the Out Here Sexual Health Clinic, okay?
Yes, your fave Out Here duo is Ryan D from Healthy Him, as you know already. Okay.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. It's Gemini season, y'all. It's officially Gemini season, so we are in this thing. You know, your boy's birthday is coming up, so he's on all the things. Don't worry about that. It's coming up.
Right.
But people will know when they know, okay? And then when I come back, y'all will know that it happened. So, yeah, that's all that matters. But we want to thank
Pyro after. So if y'all want to type in the comments, happy birthday, Ryan D, now, you can.
Correct. We just want to thank Pyro Media Network, APLA Health, and CDC for bringing the Muncie every single week. Bringing you all this chocolatey goodness every single week, okay?
Yes.
Now let's get into what do we do here? What do we do at Out Here Sexual Health Center? So community resources, that's me. You know, it used to be just Healthy Him under, a little program situation, but now we're all community resources. So as a community resources, Healthy Him offers for me swab and chill at home HIV tests. So I look over all those who want, just to be like, I want to get tested in the comfort of my own home. Like, I don't want to come to nobody's clinic and I don't why are you looking at me like that? And I was also laughing at Kwame. Kwame just left a message to us. But I don't want to be in nobody's clinic. I don't want to, do none of that. So you can get tested in the comfort of your own home. But if you do want to come in, we have a flyer for our Healthy Him checklist. So for our Healthy Him checklist, you can get up to $50 if you are demographic, okay? So that means you are a Black queer man or Black, gay, bisexual, queer in any way, shape, or form. You can get $50 for PrEP combo. Oh, this is clear too. PrEP combo is $10. HIV testing is $15. And then STI screening and treatment is $25. So you get a total of $50. And if you get on our, I'm going to be on y'all every 3 months, all of that VIP list, you get an additional $25. So that's $75 total from us. And then you can go to another program and do that as well and get more money.
So. We love a good segue. So yes, here at the Networks program, I am the HIV testing counselor. So you come in, you say you're here for Networks, okay? And then my finance will pop out from the back, okay? Come here, we'll do a little 1-2-1-2, sign some consent forms, do a little quick, survey or whatever to make sure you're good, make sure you don't need any extra services and things like that. Then I prick your finger and you get to use a little money, honey, okay? And that's how it works right there, okay? Also, coming up, we have something coming up very special for y'all for National HIV Testing Day next month. So stay tuned. We're not going to announce it just yet, but just know you're going to want to be there.
Okay, come on. And we love that. And for those who are positive, it was like, I know my status already. I don't feel like going through all of this. Like, y'all want me to get tested, and I know it. What's going on? Shut up. Like, where do I go? We can link you into care as well. If you haven't been in care or you need to be in care, we can link you into care. Kaylin is here for you. Okay, and we are out here for you. That's our slogan, y'all. So our slogan is, our motto is, whether you play with him, her, or them, we are out here for you. That's our slogan.
Wow. I felt that.
Uh-huh. Okay. Whether you play with he, she, or they,
Or
we're
all
out
of them.
here for you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can do either one or all. We are out here for you. Literally, y'all have to come see the building. The building is beautiful, actually. I like it. It looks better than what it used to. So that's anything's better than that.
It's
to
an
me,
improvement
to be
for
honest.
sure. I'll say
looks,
that.
It looks good. I
I
like the
wouldn't-
colors. I like, the way it stands out. Because before it was just like we're walking into a gray building. It's like APLA Education Center. But now it says out here, powered by APLA Health.
I feel like everyone did their best with the design.
Hey, well, look, to each his own, you know what I'm saying? But, without further ado, you want to talk about people getting on Prep and Pep?
Yes. Okay. So if you would like to get on Prep and Pep and you are in college or around college, whether you be a he or a she or a they, okay, come see us or contact me and I will link you over to our Prep and Pep services. You can also reach out to us at networks.outhere on Instagram and TikTok, and we will be able to set up an appointment or get any questions answered that you may have or need.
Yes, and you can reach out to anybody from anywhere of community resources or out here to get linked to another program. Like you can call us, of course, to whether get swab and chill or email us, whatever. But if you need something from either networks, whether it be Party Wise as well, our substance abuse program, or another program, we can always help you because that's what we do. We all in this mix together. We all in this little bowl together. So we can just throw you this way, throw you that way. But we're not going to throw you nowhere. But we're going to guide you accordingly to the place that you need to go. You know what I'm saying? So if you need to get on Prep and Pep, we can slide you on downstairs. Be like, okay, so go in here in the clinic and get what you need. You know what I'm saying? But without further ado, let's talk about our groups.
Our what?
Our groups.
Our groups?
Our groups.
Ooh, okay. You got an extra list on there today, y'all. Okay, you hear it? But yes, our group. So on today, we have my hip hop class from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Okay, where you learn how to shake it like a pom pom, like a pom pom.
And what y'all dancing to today?
That's a mystery. Come out to class.
Oh,
and see
what y'all dancing to. I want to be there.
Oh, you gonna be there?
You right?
Okay. Now whether he gonna be dancing, y'all, is a different story.
I don't be dancing and emphasizing like that.
No, he showed up like once a quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Disrespectful.
Child, I got work to do.
I should be working while we doing our other group that's happening on Thursday. So you want to tell the people
about that? No, because it's monitored by both of us. But without further ado, BQT, Black Queer Talks. Come on now. We got our flyers. I love the flyers. Come on. Y'all don't look at my nails. My nails are growing back. But anyway, yes, BQT, Black Queer Talks. Thank you. So Black Queer Talks, can you focus it? Hold on, I'm trying to make sure he can focus it, y'all. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. I don't like the fact you can't see the words. But basically, it is a sex-positive group, focus group, where we talk about sex, love, relationships, and all the good things in between. Recently we talked about traumas, triggers, and toxicity. Now we're talking about hotels. Like Jasmine Sullivan, the best R&B album of the year. Shout out to the Black woman. But yes, best R&B album of the year, according to, the Recording Academy, of course. But yes, hotels. We're talking about what we have been through, what has, you can put it down now, what we have been through, what has transpired us as sexual beings, and what experience that we had. And, essentially all of our hotels that we've either learned from, haven't learned from yet, or still, going through. So yeah, we've heard some interesting stories.
Because the girls are hard-headed.
Okay. We love some interesting hotels. We've all had hotels. We've all been there. So that's just that on that.
Not all of us have hotels.
That's true. But we've all had experiences of, living life. But without further ado, we are getting to a great topic. Let's get into the topic today. Dating pause. Okay, y'all. This is a conversation that needs to be had. I wanted to have a guest, but I was like, I think it'll be good for us to do this from our perspective, since we both have experienced dating positive individuals. And it's very interesting. So, yes.
Some of us have.
And we're definitely giving beret twins today. Like, this was so unplanned, y'all. This was not planned at all. Like, we woke up and we got here, and I was like, you want to be me so bad. Like, he wants to be me so bad.
She copies me all the time, y'all. She was saying it's not planned, but I swear.
No. Yes, baby. No. Well, yes. No. Yes. And give me a Y. Give me an E. Give me an S. Yeah.
Anyway, y'all. Ultimately, dating pause. This is a subject that needs to be talked about because I feel like a lot of people do not talk about it, especially people who are negative and are seeking to potentially date someone who is positive. So let's get into it.
What does it mean to be HIV positive or negative?
You want to do one? We do one. Let's split the fourth. You do one, I do one.
Well, you didn't.
I'm trying to give you time to talk.
Oh, the people know how to talk.
Okay, then go ahead. Talk.
Anyway, so first of all, HIV stands for human immunodeficiency virus. Yes. Yes, because I was like, where's the D in this? But ain't no D. It's just immuno. Yes, right. Exactly. That's the autoimmune. And that's it. But anyway, yeah. So human immunodeficiency virus. Yes.
Correct.
Yes, that's what HIV stands for. And to be positive or to be negative means that either, you obviously haven't been exposed to HIV, or you have, but you were on PrEP, or you were exposed and, didn't have access to, or weren't on PrEP at the time, didn't have access to PEP. Real quick, PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. That is like the birth control of HIV. And then PEP is like the plan B of HIV, where, you have 3 days in Los Angeles County to, go to an emergency room or to a clinic like us. After an exposure, we get you on it as soon as possible. It's a 30-day regimen, and you take that and you are, you hopefully won't seroconvert. And to seroconvert means to, have your T cells basically being taken over by the HIV cells.
Correct. And y'all, if y'all see me munch a little bit, it's because I ain't eat breakfast this morning and my stomach is empty. Okay, so I'm trying to put something in my stomach, so don't judge me. Okay, I'm sticking my little.
Not you eating.
It's not like I'm not like calm down, because you was definitely eating goldfish last week. Thank you very much.
You can't wait till commercial,
sweetie. You was eating goldfish on the freaking live last week.
Play, run the clip.
Stop.
Run the clip then.
Stop.
You can't.
It don't matter. You literally pulled the goldfish up and was out eating goldfish, y'all. That's why I did it. Anyways, like I was saying, you don't see me eating. You just see me munching a little bit. Okay, I'm not like rah, rah, rah. It's just a little.
Anywho,
still cute. Keep it cute.
Does one status dictate who you date?
Okay, so negative is the opposite of what he just said. Okay, let's talk about the negative as well.
I mentioned it briefly because that's more simple.
Yeah, that's true, but people still need to know.
Okay, talk about it.
But you said, does one status what?
Dictate who you date? Like, does it matter if they're positive?
I don't think so, but not for everybody. Everyone's different, and that's the thing about it. I feel like a lot of negative, HIV negative individuals are more so. They get a little concerned when it comes to dating someone who's positive, because it's like, okay, well, how does this work? And a lot of people who do not know U equals U, undetectable. When you're undetectable, that means your viral load
equals what? You didn't say the whole thing.
Undetectable equals untransmittable, you guys.
That's
there we go.
U equals U means.
Yes, U equals U. Undetectable equals untransmittable. My apologies. But yeah, so that means when your viral load is low, and that means, the virus cannot be detected, essentially. But ultimately, a lot of people do not know what that means. So they automatically assume like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying to potentially date this HIV positive person and I may get it. And it's like, that's not always the case.
No,
so
it's rarely ever the case, actually.
That's why people need to be educated.
A lot of the time, HIV positive people take better care of their health and get tested more regularly than people who are negative.
Exactly. Okay, we were leaving action. I didn't realize that we were both wearing glasses and berets today, but it's funny.
See, she want to be me so bad. These are prescription.
Okay, this is for fashion, but baby, I didn't know you were wearing those today, so don't do me. Anyways, but yes, do you feel that way? I don't know. I feel like it's different for negative and positive individuals. That's one thing I can say. Like, positive individuals are always like trying to find someone, but I feel like a lot of, if we're going to be frank, because this is what the show is for, a lot of positive individuals settle. I feel like they settle for anybody who just shows them any type of love or affection, because they feel like no one else will love them. And that's not the case.
They feel undesirable due to their status.
Exactly. And that's so
not
sad.
Everybody.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
But there's a good portion. And that's sad, because it's like,
it's a lot.
It shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't matter. In my opinion, it don't matter to me. Like, it's I'm fine. I don't give a the status. As long as you are in, like, you taking your medicine and doing what you need to do for yourself, keeping yourself together, that's all that matters. That's it for me. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought I cut you up.
So for me, it definitely doesn't matter. I've been in this field for a very long time. There was a point in time when I was very young, back in like, I would say 2014, 2015, before I knew all the things that I knew about like HIV care and things like that. Where I was just, excuse me, y'all, where I was just kind of like, I'm gassy, y'all know this. And if you don't know this, welcome.
No!
So, yeah, prior to that, I was definitely one of those that was kind of like, oh my God, you're positive. But I mean, honestly, it still didn't like stop me from dating them per se. But it did make me feel like I could not be sexual with that person due to the fear of transmitting it, even though I'm a top. And for those of you who also don't know, fun fact, it is
less transmittable,
less risky.
Less risky, yes. There we go.
To transmit the virus if you are topping versus like if you are the receptive or bottom in the part, like in the situation. That isn't for bottoms to fear. You know, just take the precautions that you need that we will talk about as the episode goes on. But to make a long story short, I say all of that to say no, it doesn't.
Okay, go on.
But what are some ways we can end the stigma of like dating positive?
I would say the best way to end the stigma is to get educated. If you are educated, then you know what you're going into. I feel a lot of people are so uneducated on the topic of HIV positive individuals that they automatically assume like, okay, they're positive. I can't do anything with them because they're going to give me HIV. And it's like, pause. You sound ignorant. Ignorance.
No.
Okay. We don't like that ignorance. You literally, if you get, it's so many things that you can access now, like from Google to books and everything out there, where you can actually read about
our show.
Okay, that part. But you can actually read and look into like, what does it mean for a person to be HIV positive? Like, if you really like a person, you're going to really want to know, like, how do I navigate this space with them and support them accordingly? Like, that's just that. Because at the end of the day, like, I'm most likely sure the person did not choose to become HIV positive. So
some people do, and we'll talk about that as well.
Exactly, that's true as well. But for the most part, most people do not choose that life. It just happens, and it's a reality, and that's just what it is. I think we need to stop, again, in general, stigmatizing and just get educated. That's what I would say. That's my answer. Educate yourself, because education is beautiful. You know, reading is fundamental, as they say.
Yes.
I cannot.
But what I would say is, first of all, educate yourself on HIV and the transmission of HIV. Some people are actually born HIV positive due to, you know, their mother contracting the virus while she was pregnant. You know, some people contract the virus because they were previous drug users, or not even previous drug users. Maybe their partners were previous drug users and, you know, stabbed them with a dirty syringe, and now they're positive, you know, and they didn't know. Some people get cheated on and, you know, then find out years later because they trusted their partner. There are various ways that you can transmit HIV. And I think it's very unfair for us in society as a whole to judge people and think that whatever they think. Because, I mean, for me, I can say it, like, even in earlier stages, like I said, when I was young, I was probably like, I mean, you can't do the math on that because, like, I'm just going to throw out some ages. Like, even when I was like 17, 18, 19, like, and didn't really know too much about it, I just, when you hear HIV positive, all I thought was like, oh, you're promiscuous. Like, oh, you just be letting everybody smash, et cetera, you know, and that is not right. Very much so. And that is not the case. Like, a mother can transmit HIV to her baby via breast milk if like, there's so many different ways. Blood transfusion, somebody like a careless nurse or a careless doctor in a hospital. And that's happened before, especially earlier in the epidemic, where people would go in for like blood transfusions or give blood. And then, you know, there would be a careless doctor or nurse who didn't check the blood beforehand. And then boom, now you're positive. And so I think, first off, breaking down how you can transmit HIV will hopefully create some type of not, the word is empathy, some type of like empathy and like some consideration to how the person may feel, especially considering that 9 times out of 10 people don't choose to be positive, like Ryan said. I think another way we can end the stigma of dating pause is for people to just get on PrEP. Get on PrEP.
Mm-hmm.
Take your birth control, gabies.
And wear your mask.
Child, if you don't want to wear your mask, don't wear your mask. I'm not promoting that. But
we need to, because COVID is crazy.
We're not talking about COVID right now.
You're right. Come on. The real epidemic.
But yeah.
We're talking about the real epidemic. Come on, continue.
They're both very real.
They are, but this one is something that keeps getting overlooked. That's why we're talking about it. So,
but,
back in the section.
Yeah, I would also say take your PrEP. Like, girls take birth control. Why do you think it's okay for you to just be slinging your willy or like slinging your booty hole all over, or whatever you want to call it, your pussy, your bussy, your boochie cat, like
boochie cat.
Okay, all of that. Why do you feel like it's okay to just be like, you know, slinging that around all like carelessly? And yes, like condoms can protect you against other STDs and STIs, but like we all know they are not 100% effective. Nothing is 100% effective, but at least with PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis, they have 2 versions and 2 other generics to the original versions. There's Truvada and Descovy. We also have cabotegravir. That is an injectable PrEP as well, where you only have to have it to go back to get shot in the booty every 2 months. So you don't even have to worry about taking any pills. That's still very new though and in the works. And I wouldn't recommend that if you are going in for the first time to get on PrEP, just because like insurance is still a little iffy about it and they're still figuring out all the moving pieces, side effects, et cetera, because it is a very new development. They've been working on it for 2 years, but that's still new.
Mm-hmm. And even if you've been exposed to HIV, you know, PEP exists as well, post-exposure prophylaxis.
But I'm just talking about getting rid of the stigma of like dating pause, you know?
Yeah,
like
that's true.
You
gotta tell the girls though, because they
but like first of all, if the person is undetectable, they can't even they can't give you HIV. They cannot transmit the virus. Now, if somebody is lying about being undetectable, that's a whole nother thing. Or if, you know, they got sick or had a recent STD or STI and their T count goes down, then that is also something different, which is also why I circle back to PrEP. Like, I think it behoove everybody. Like, you know, y'all think that girls are the only ones getting their club shot up, okay? Being nutted in, okay? Like, accidentally on purpose.
Not accidentally on purpose.
Because boys is trifling.
Mm.
No.
Sometimes they want to.
Just take, I mean, yes, but that's different.
Mm-hmm.
That's different, and you're making the active choice to do that. And even still, if you're making the active choice to do that, and that is not a long-term partner or somebody that you trust, you should be on PrEP.
That's fair.
And I'm not just talking about the gabies either, because I know I said that earlier, but it's for everybody.
It is.
The men's, the women's, and everybody in between.
Yes, no matter if you're cisgendered or not. Because a lot of cisgendered individuals be thinking, oh, that's not for me. Like, it's for the gays. No, it's not. It's for you, sweetie, because it's affecting everybody out here, okay?
Yes.
Especially Black women.
Correct.
Come on.
There are countless stories of women, Black, brown, and in between, that have had partners who step out on them and, you know, they love them so much that they don't leave, and then they take a trip to the clinic and they find out that way. There are so many women, even incarcerated women, that find out as well that way, who didn't know, didn't care to check until they were in the system, and they make them check.
That part. And I'm sure you've heard some stories. I've heard some stories. I'm going to share a story that I read the other day when I was looking up some things. And I was like, this is wild. So apparently this guy went cruising and he put his dick in a glory hole. And if you don't know what a glory hole is, basically a hole where you like, you know, either get sucked or, you know, fucking somebody else or, you know, whatever.
People
you can
have
put
sex through glory holes?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if your piece is long enough, yeah.
You can put your dick in there and then somebody could just pack their ass up. Or somebody could just put that hole to it and then the dick just goes in. Like, you know, either way. Or usually people just... But without that, besides that, I mean, a guy put his dick in a glory hole and assumably he thought that he was going to get head, but a person stabbed him with a syringe and then he was HIV positive.
Oh wow.
I don't know what was in the syringe. Obviously, it's probably like blood. But
no, it probably just came out of their arm.
That too, which is even worse. But it still had something from the person who's HIV positive, so it had to be like something like of the blood. But yeah, they stabbed him in his dick, and I don't know how that went for him. I'm pretty sure that was painful.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure he left a little upset, crying. Maybe I would have. And yeah, he went to go get tested, and he said he was positive after that. And it was just like, wow. That's why just be careful, people. Be careful.
Mm-hmm. And while we're talking about this, I think it's important to just mention the 5 ways that you can, or the 5 fluids that transmit HIV.
Yes.
Do you want to take one at a time?
Yes, let's do that.
So there is breast milk.
Breast milk. There's blood.
There's blood.
There's blood.
There's semen.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Then there is, you said semen already. What's the other one? Dang.
It's pre-semen.
Yeah, pre-cum.
That was just recently added. So cum and pre-cum.
Yeah, I think they're the
breast
same
milk,
thing, though, to be honest.
Blood.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's one more, and I definitely forgot.
It's definitely not saliva, though, y'all.
It's
Please
not,
get that out of your heads right
not,
now.
It's really not. It's not. I think a lot of people have that connotation that, like, if we kiss and this happens, like, they're gonna, like, duh. And it's like, no, that's not the case. Like, you can kiss somebody and it be perfectly fine. Like, it's okay. Like, you're not gonna contract it from kissing someone or giving them head or da-da-da. But if they pre-cum in your mouth and you swallow and it just gets all up in your, your mouth or in your body with no condom, especially, there's a possibility.
Vaginal fluids.
Oh yeah, that's things we don't know about.
And there's 6 because they just added another one because we didn't really believe in this, but hey, I guess the girls have it now. Rectal fluids. I mean, I guess.
But that makes common sense because, like, yeah, if a person is, wet essentially, and you're in there with no condom, then yeah.
But rectal fluids, because like a booty hole does not self-lubricate. So I feel like rectal fluids is just a mix of like the cum and the pre-cum, the lube, possible blood that may come from tears, mixed into one to create, and probably some saliva to create the rectal fluids.
Potentially, but I also feel like I feel like the anus can self-lubricate a little bit. Maybe not heavily.
That would be,
but I feel like a little bit.
That would be your stomach lining.
I feel like a little bit. I'm not saying like you're fucking. Let me stop. I'm not saying you're creaming, because creaming is not okay, you guys. I don't know who made that fetch. It's not fetch.
No.
That's not okay.
No.
It's not. It's not.
I
don't know. Like,
we're not shaming anybody if that's what you like to do. However, all we're saying is
it's not
1,
healthy.
It's not healthy, and
No.
2, it's not a real thing. So whatever that people are putting in their booty holes to create this said creaming, it's not good for the anal health.
It's not. It's
and unless it's lube, because there are some lubes that make it like that make it whiter.
But typically, that's showing that there's mucus inside of your anus, and that should be looked at. That should definitely be looked at. Talk to a doctor. Talk to your provider, for sure. I would say, hands down. But back to the subject. How is safe sex with a positive and negative individual work? So they want to know.
I mean, I feel like I already talked about it in the last question, but condoms. If you want to go biomedical, which is like, chemicals, pills, things like that, we have PrEP and we also have PEP.
But let's talk about the people.
Other than that, you can really do other things. Like you can do mutual masturbation. You can do oral, because the stomach acids kind of like, digest the semen if you were to have like, semen in your mouth and things like that, or to swallow it. Now, if you have any type of cuts in like on your gums or anything like that, or that you need dental work, it's probably not the safest idea to do that, especially if they are not undetectable.
Correct.
But that is also some low risk activity that you can do that'll still, get you where you need to be. Okay. There's kissing, there's touching, there's rubbing, I wouldn't recommend frottage unless they are undetectable. What are some ways that, you've had safe sex with a pos person?
I just want to add this in here as well, because I just found this out myself not too long ago, y'all. So there is a new sexual position in the queer community. It's called a side, if y'all didn't know. It's called a side. So a side is essentially someone who does not get penetrated at all, but they do basically have outer sex. Basically everything I've been telling you guys. The whole time I've been a side, y'all. I haven't been a burst. I'm an imposter. So I haven't been a burst. I've been a side. It's basically someone who doesn't have any type of penetration with anyone, but they do mutual masturbation, as Dwayne said. They do frottage. They do oral, and all those good outer sex things that you have outer. There's no penetration involved. It's just all the fun things on the outside. And then you're a side. I didn't know that. So it's like, I think the level is, it's power top, so they say, or strict top, whatever. Then there's verse top. Then there's verse top, verse bottom. And with the verse is power verse, because that's what I want to be in. And then there's verse bottom, and then there's bottom, and then side is like
power bottom
on the cut of the power bottom, and then the side is like on the cut over here. They're just like, I can fluctuate, but I just don't want to do any of that, so I'm just gonna be down here.
Girls just get in where they fit in.
They just boom, they're right here. So I was like, wow, there's a whole thing. Like, it's really on Grindr now. Like, my friend showed me, and I was like, that's crazy. Like, you can legit swipe and be like, this is my position. Like, wow, it's a real position. So now if people don't say they're top team, they're like, I'm a side. They're like, oh, I'm not a bottom, I'm a side. So if someone asks you, or you ask somebody what position they are and they say side, now you know.
Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. I'm gonna start telling people I'm a side. I think I might be a side for a little bit longer. I tried recently. You guys, it was not it. It was not it. It was too much. It was too much.
What did you try?
I tried things.
Oh. Well, maybe we'll hear about it after these commercial breaks, y'all.
Okay.
Are you in need of a quick and easy way to know your HIV status? Swab and Chill is a discreet way to learn your status in the comfort of your own home. The process gives you results in 20 minutes. Swab the upper gums, swab the lower gums, and voila! Simply follow the colorful step-by-step instructions located inside the kit. Or call APLA and we can assist you virtually. In addition, all kits include condoms and lube for that penetrative fun. For our trans clients, we have Swab and Chill Plus, a customizable kit for trans-specific needs. And we haven't forgotten about COVID either. All kits include personal protection gear, like face masks, comfortable yet stylish, a personal touch tool for dealing with those germ-infested handles and ATM keypads, wet wipes for those little messes that need cleaning up. Also, keep that summer body protected with Swab and Chill sunscreen. And don't forget about our fanny packs for those quick trips to the store. All this can be yours. Simply call Swab and Chill at 323-329-9713 or email us at swabandchill@apla.org. We would love for you to be part of our Swab and Chill family.
Come Swab and Chill with us!
And we are back, y'all. Before the commercial break, Dwayne asked me a question.
Yeah, you tried something you said, and it was not it.
That wasn't the question, darling. We are swiping that to the side.
Oh, we're gonna swipe it to the side.
We were talking about what a side
was.
We were talking about what a side was, and now we are gonna go over exactly what you asked me, which essentially was, what is it like, or what have you experienced when dating or having sex with a positive individual? Now with me, and I'm also want to mention for my girls out there who like, who are like, I don't want to be on PrEP and my partner's HIV positive. I don't want to be taking a pill or doing none of that. And I just want to like, have sex with him raw. People out there like that. Look, it could be risky depending if they are not undetectable.
Could be. If they're not undetectable,
yes, it is. Yes, it is a risk. But make sure first they're undetectable. Second, I would say if you're not going to take PrEP, wear a condom. I know some people just don't want to wear a condom, but wear a condom. With me and my partner that I used
water-based lube.
Yes. The partner I used to have, I would always use a condom, and then I would, well, not always, let me stop lying. I would use a condom here and there. There we go. Better wording. And I was on PrEP. But then after a while, I stopped using condoms and strictly kept myself on PrEP. So every time it was like, okay, I know we're having sex, like, no condom, cool. But I was like, I'll take my PrEP today. I'm Gucci. Like, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was for me. You got to decide one or the other, either PrEP or a condom. But if you don't want either, go in safe. Like, please just go in safe, knowing like, okay, is this person undetectable? Do I know their status fully before I have raw sex with them, before I do this with a condom, and before I be like, okay, well, I'm not on any PrEP or anything. Are you on anything? Like, what's going on? Yada, yada, whoop, whoop. So, yes, that is and I hope y'all prepare accordingly. But without further ado, you asked another question. What was it, darling?
I haven't yet, but on today's topic of dating pause, what does it mean to be serodiscordant?
So essentially, serodiscordant is when one partner is positive and the other is negative. HIV positive and HIV negative.
Yes.
And they are in a relationship. They are in relations, whether, sexual or romantic, But ultimately, it's usually intertwined, the two. So we are essentially telling you about our previous serodiscordant relationships that we had.
I've had a couple.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I've only had one, but it was one that lasted a very long time. So I feel like I have a good enough experience.
I don't know. It kind of refers back to the question that we had earlier, but I don't date people based off of like superficial things. And I feel like status is one of those superficial things, as well as like body type, skin complexion, like all of that. I do love a good smooth man. I do love a good set of teeth, but like, it isn't everything. But no lie, your teeth can't be throwing up gang signs. That's just not gonna happen. But anyway,
you were terrible. That is giving very much so like
fix it. That's what it's giving.
It's not always affordable, and you know that of all people.
Oh baby.
So everybody can't afford that. The healthcare system is failing us Black people.
Whine to your mammy ho. Don't whine to me because it's not my fault.
No. Some people can't fix that. You have to. Look, I don't think it's called settling. But yes, you were blessed with your teeth. But a lot of people don't have the same, fortunes that you do. So it's like, you got to understand that. People come from different places. People have been through different things.
It's never too late, y'all. It's never too late.
It's never too late. But if you don't have the resources or the ability.
We can help you. Because we also have dentistry here.
We do.
Okay? There's no excuse.
Child.
None.
Look.
We can help you.
It's not always affordable for people, though.
We can help you.
It's not.
Low to no cost services here.
Out here. Okay? Out here don't have dental.
No, we don't.
Exactly.
But the powered by APLA part does. Okay? But we're getting off topic.
We are. But ultimately, I was saying everything's not always affordable and everything's not always available to everyone as such. when a positive individual is trying to, you know, access certain resources, they aren't always able to, or maybe scared to. So it just depends, you know? I don't know. That's just thought. But what are some of your experiences while dating positive individuals?
It always gave very much guarded. That was definitely a struggle and like a barrier. But other than that, it was really good. Like both individuals that I've dated that were positive were very sweet, very kind, for the most part. I can say that no shade. The sex was good. Both times, both individuals.
Better than the one you talked about at BQT the other day that you said was the best you ever had?
I wouldn't say all that because they're not positive. But if they were, then yes.
Okay.
But honestly, overall, dating while positive is no different than dating somebody negative.
Was that a fart?
No, it was a chair.
Oh, okay.
I would say the only thing that is a little bit different is that when it comes to the disclosing portion, some people are very upfront about it. Some people wait until you get closer to you're about to do the do and then want to disclose. So I feel like that is a commonality that I've ran into as far as like dating positive people. What are some of your experiences? Like, how was it for you?
Well, consider I only been with one individual who was positive. Oh, he is up here passing gas, y'all. Oh my gosh. Yikes. It's crazy. But I've only dated one positive individual, but that was a 4-year span of time. But when it happened, I think I've told this story before on the show, but essentially he disclosed after a while when we were like really starting to like feel each other after our quote unquote talking phase. I don't like that word, juvenile, but our dating phase essentially before we was like, okay, we're gonna be exclusive. He basically told me after originally telling me that he wasn't HIV positive. Then he finally told me, he was like, okay, I really like you and be honest, I'm HIV positive. And I was like, okay. And literally like probably like 5 minutes after he told me that, I was like, okay, let's have sex. So I believe I told this story before. But yes, as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, get the condom. I already know how to prepare for it. I was like, yeah. Plus, I already prepared prior because that day I was like, he getting some. Like, I already had it planned. So I was like, at this point, you were vulnerable with me, and vulnerability is sexy to me. So I was like, I love it. Thank you for sharing. No, fuck me. Yeah. With me, it was a good experience. He was a great individual. Also a Gemini, so we were always just like we understood each other. But he was on a different like generation than I mean myself, so we had two different views on a lot of things. So it kept us like always learning from the other person. It's like but it would always also be like I know this and you don't know this and da-da-da-da, and I just don't like that. But ultimately, with the relationship, great individual. Sex was trash, but great individual. Probably would say that was like hands down one of the like best relationships I've ever had to this day. So yeah, and that was the only past person. So yeah, 4 years. 4 years is a long time, child, especially in your 20s. Okay, like he watched me grow up, child. He literally watched me grow up, like.
And there's still more growing.
There is, okay? But he was there from the bottom, okay? He got out the muscle, literally, like 18 years old. Like, what? Child. But anyway, what are some obstacles you feel in dating a positive individual?
I'll never understand that.
What?
Dating an 18-year-old.
We already had the ageism episode. We're not getting back into this. So yes, the obstacles.
Go watch that though, by the way. It's like 2 episodes back.
Yes. Obstacles.
I mean, honestly, it's just the insecurities. It's the insecurities of them being positive and having the fear or the stigma that has been and carrying the baggage that they've had before and possibly dating, people who are not positive, who don't necessarily understand, who demonize them for being positive without even hearing their story.
Right.
Or, for instance, maybe they're freshly positive and it's still a little like tender. So they don't disclose immediately.
Not the app.
Yeah, I didn't want to say raw either.
But
yeah, and then it's a little bit harder to disclose, but they still, as being human, you still crave like human intimacy and physical touch and things like that. And so just dealing with some of their insecurities, some of their traumas, and then having to constantly reassure said person. And again, this isn't always the case. This is usually for people who haven't accepted and or coped with their status.
That's very true. They have to sit with themselves and really like acknowledge that. A lot of people don't like to disclose, but then there are a lot of people out there advocating and openly telling everyone, like, this is my status and I don't care. Like I'm a image and I guess what's the word I want to say? It's a certain word I'm trying to find, but I can't think of it right now. But basically, they are
example,
essentially like a role model. Yeah, that wasn't the word, but yes, essentially like a role model who is here to be like, you can be okay. Like you're going to be okay. And essentially, I think that is also what I feel like Dante is here at APLA. Like he's very open about his status. He's very like, he's an advocate and a huge role model for a lot of people, telling people like, you're gonna be okay, because it is like you're going to be fine. I think people get so scared automatically when they get their status, and it's very understandable. Like,
but also I kind of understand that because at the end of the day, it's nobody's business.
That's true.
Like your sexual preference is nobody's business.
That's true as well.
Your sexual positioning, anything regarding sex, is nobody's business but your own.
That's true.
And if people are inquiring or you are interested in telling them, then that must mean that you're about to get it on in some facet. So like I never understood that either. People always wanting people to disclose. It's very triggering. It gives very much so like outing, and I don't like that.
But if you are comfortable with disclosing, that is also a beautiful thing because you are very aware, but it takes time for that to happen. And don't try to rush people, like to be like, oh, tell me, like tell people. Like if you know someone's status, first of all, don't disclose someone else's status without them knowing. Like that's not okay. 1, 2, make sure that the person is comfortable with you doing that as well, because it's like, if they didn't say like, yeah, you could tell this person my status, like, okay, wait a second, because that's very confidential and this is very private, and it's like, yes, you're invading someone's privacy in so many different ways.
You can be sued for that.
Yeah, that part you really can nowadays. I think that is an actual lawsuit.
It is
currently. Yeah. But let's talk about how people date positive individuals for, the munty hunty. Let's get into it.
So there's this really ugly term and phrase called bug chasing. And I think that is just so...
Say it louder for the girls. I can't hear you.
Bug chasing.
Okay, elaborate.
So with that, there are people who specifically only date positive people in hopes to seroconvert. So that means in hopes to become positive, because what a lot of you also don't know is a lot of positive people get a lot of benefits. Like they are legally deemed handicapped in California, if I'm not mistaken. So they have a lot of different access to housing, medical care, dental care, food pantries all over, etc. Very similar to like, the same benefits that veterans get. Right. So oftentimes when people get desperate, they will actively seek out positive people to just seroconvert and have sex with them so that they can reap the benefits, which is also triggering and traumatic for HIV positive people as well, because like that is, oh, okay. So we just got a message from our promoter that when he was growing up, way back in the day, no, I'm just kidding, Kwame. It was called Gift Stealers. Oh, I like that way better, but they've been calling it bug chasers now.
Right.
I said producer.
You said promoter.
I did?
Yes.
Oh, child, I gotta get out the club.
Okay. She's a hood rat. I cannot. She's a hood rat.
Well, yes.
Exactly. But yes, that is essentially what that is. And for those who are doing that, please stop. That is one, it's not okay for the positive individual because they're genuinely feeling like, no one wants me and this person wants me, but then you're only wanting them for those materialistic things and the things that like they're giving you and they're providing. And that's not okay. With me, it's weird. It's very weird. But I just feel like ultimately with me, with my person, they were a little older, but they didn't have nothing to give me. And I'm child. Tell them I'm independent. Okay, I'm an independent black man. Okay, don't blame me. So I'm gonna do everything by myself, sweetie. All you can do for me is change my tires and get my oil changed. Thank you. But that's it. Okay. Other than that, I can do it myself. And I will do it myself. And if you offer, I'll be like, okay, cool, but I can do it. Anyways, thank you. But what advice would you give to a negative person who is scared to date someone? Pause. That's the first advice. We got 2 advices today, y'all. This is the first part.
I'll tell y'all once. I'm going to tell y'all again. I'm going to tell y'all 1,000 more times. Do your research. See not only what it means to be HIV positive, what is happening in the body, and what are the things. And then also ask your provider if you have one. Like ask your primary care doctor if you have one. Ask the clinic doctor.
Okay.
Because they should be able to answer these basic questions as well, because this HIV is very much indeed basic.
I look strong.
Like
today.
this is, you are strong. Ooh.
I'm a strong black man.
Yeah, ooh.
It's not.
But
we like twins, low key. We really do. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I get ADHD, child. I would say, are you done? I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Do your research, ask questions, get on PrEP, and use condoms, because although you'll be on PrEP and you will protect yourself against HIV, PrEP does not protect against other STIs and STDs.
Correct. I would say, yes, do your research. Read. Reading is fundamental. Look things up. Google is free. But ultimately, I would genuinely talk to the positive individual and see where they are in their life. I've had numerous of friends who have told me like they were potentially about to talk to or deal with a positive individual and they didn't know how to go about it. And they come to me because of this instance that I've been with a positive individual for 4 years. So they're like, you've been through this before. Like, how did you navigate this space? And I'm like, just talk to them. Like literally just talk to them, see what they're comfortable with, and see what's going on. Because first off, my friend told me like the person's status and I was like, why would you do that? Like, I get why, because they wanted advice from me, but at the same time, this happens every week, child.
We almost
but at the same time,
we almost made it.
Ultimately, it's just like you shouldn't do that until they are comfortable with that. Because now they are now confronting you saying like, oh, why'd you tell your friend like my status? But they're okay. They're like, they know what's going on. So yeah, and they know what field I'm in. But ultimately, yes, talk to the person, educate yourself, and just make sure that they are comfortable with you either disclosing or just whatever's going on between y'all. Like make sure that y'all are taking the proper precautions for sex. Make sure y'all are having the conversations on what is going on with your relationship moving forward, what you're going to do for yourself, whether you're going to get on PrEP while you guys do that, and whatever else may come up. Because honestly, it's nothing different. It's just literally this minor thing. Okay.
What about an HIV positive person in fear of never finding love?
Now that is a whole different ballgame. I would say it's that pos person out there who feels like they'll never find anybody. You will. There are, whether it be another pos individual or whether it be a negative, HIV negative individual, you will find love. One, because I believe there's someone out there for everybody. You're going to find your, I don't say soulmate, because soulmate is like, they're usually temporary. Some are permanent, but most of them are temporary. I say life partner. You will find your life partner. And when you find your life partner, you'll be like, okay, this person is for me. And you can be comfortable and be vulnerable enough to tell them your status, and you'll be like, okay, it's cool. Some spaces are different and it may take some time. And I would just say never settle, because I feel like a lot of individuals settle because they feel like I won't find love again, or I'm getting at this age where I'm just tired of looking and I'm tired of telling people my status, and then, you know, people leaving or this happening. Just give it a chance. Like, you only have one life, and, you know, you can love. You're going to love a lot of different people in life, okay? That's part of living and growing up. And I feel like we get to our 20s and our 30s and sometimes our 40s, and we're like, oh, I don't have love, or I don't have this, I don't have that. And that's how people are still on Jack, people still on Grindr, Adam for Adam, Black, Tinder, all the apps at big ages, still looking for love. And now they have buttons where you can say like your status, but a lot of people are scared, and some people are still lying. And I get why, and I understand why, because it's nobody's business, but also it's just people are scared no one's going to love them. So I would just say, be open to rejection if it happens, but know that, like, you are going to find a person who doesn't give a fuck about your status. They're going to love you for you, because genuinely we're here and we're the witnesses of it.
Like me
and us. Like, that's why I just said we're here.
Oh yeah, you did have a 4-year.
Yes, we just talked about this. Wow, y'all, he really just played me. But yes, us, we are here. We are individuals who will love you no matter what. Like, we don't care about that. So there are others like us out there in the world who don't care about your status. We just genuinely want to love you as a person. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's what I would say.
My advice to a HIV positive person in fear of never finding love or making it hard to find love, I would say, just like, work on you and focus on you. Take care of your health, because at the end of the day, although yes, you have this stigma tied to your status, like, as long as you are taking care of you, as long as you are, you know, continuing to chase your goals and ambitions, as long as you are, you know, continuing to build your self-worth and create those boundaries for yourself so that you don't get disrespected, because just because you're HIV positive does not give anybody the right to disrespect you in any facet or form or forum. Mm-hmm. So just build that self-esteem up, baby. Build that self-respect up, baby. Build up those boundaries, and you'll be okay. You will find the person who will know how to love you, because you have already set the tone for how to love you by loving yourself.
Period. Anything else?
Follow us at the networks or actually it's at networks.out here now.
Okay, yes. And follow us at Healthy Him, of course. And yeah, make sure you stay tuned for our What's Poppin' every Tuesday, okay? Every Tuesday before the show. It's on Healthy Him and Networks out here.
We do it
live too.
on Instagram Live.
Live, yeah. So if you follow one of us, you'll see both of us on the What's Poppin', our pop culture segment before the show. And then we just intro you into, you know, our show, essentially. So we hope you guys got a lot of information, and now you can go, you know, be serodiscordant. Discordant. I'm sorry. Go be serodiscordant. So yes, live life, love all, and stop judging people, because, like, look, you gotta look at yourself in the mirror every day before you go to sleep. And if you don't like what you see, that's your problem, sweetie. Without further ado, it's your fave out here duo saying bye.